It was the breathtaking view of this lake that convinced me to take one last trip before leaving Rome. Spring was surrendering to summer's embrace, the trees bursting with vibrant green foliage. A lone vintner serenaded the hills as he tended his vines, his voice echoing through the tranquil air. The cicadas were still slumbering, a testament to the lingering coolness, but as twilight descended, fireflies would illuminate the hillsides, their tiny lights twinkling like fallen stars. And the soothing calls of the scops owl promised another glorious day tomorrow. I paused, allowing my words to hang in the air as my audience absorbed the beauty around them. We were a diverse group, brought together by a shared desire for adventure and camaraderie. Among us was the captivating Countess Atanasia D. Her beauty rivaled that of a Raphael masterpiece, and her kind heart was the stuff of poetry. Two of her children, their eyes sparkling with excitement and their manners impeccable, accompanied her. They were the picture of youthful joy, content to simply observe and soak in the wonders of their surroundings. I found myself drawn to the Countess, captivated by her elegance and grace. As I sat beside her, I couldn't help but notice the mesmerizing dance of shadows across the landscape. The setting sun painted the valley in a wash of gold, bathing the slopes in a liquid light. The distant town, perched atop a hill, shimmered and gleamed, its domes and towers catching the fading rays. A few wispy clouds, infused with the sun's fiery hues, drifted across the sky like golden islands in a sea of blue. The lake mirrored the spectacle above, transforming into a second heaven, a radiant reflection of the earth and sky. Even the vast Mediterranean seemed to surrender to the sun's brilliance, its azure depths merging with the golden light. We were lost in the moment, our souls mirroring the lake, the hills, and the sea, drinking in the overwhelming beauty. Time seemed to stand still as we basked in the golden hour, until finally, the intensity of it all became too much. With a collective sigh, we tore our gazes away. "Look there," I said, gesturing towards a knoll at the foot of the hill. "It's like a painting come to life." Two trees stood silhouetted against the twilight sky, their branches shimmering with droplets of golden light. A rocky outcrop, adorned with creeping vines and fragrant myrtle blossoms, framed the scene. A babbling brook, its path interrupted by moss-covered stones, gurgled through the grass. And gathered on the rocks were a few figures who immediately piqued our interest. One was a hunter, his rifle resting nearby, a testament to his skill. Yet, his rough straw hat and simple attire hinted at a life lived off the land. Beside him sat a woman, her traditional dress and basket suggesting she was a local farmer returning home from the village. They were engrossed in the wares of a peddler who stood before them, his hat respectfully removed. Among his trinkets were pictures and prints, landscapes of the region and portraits of the Madonna, which the pair examined with evident delight. "It wouldn't take much to weave a tale around those two," I remarked, my imagination already taking flight. With that rifle at his side, I could easily envision him as a bandit, his contadina love by his side. They'd be the terror of the countryside, feared by all except for her, the most vulnerable among them. "I wouldn't romanticize such a situation," the Countess said softly, her voice laced with concern. "The union of love and crime is a dangerous one, and a life of lawlessness inevitably leads to suffering for all involved. I speak from experience," she added, her expression turning somber. "Your words remind me of a young woman, now a sister of charity at the convent of Santa Chiara in Rome. Her ill-fated love for a man like the one you describe brought ruin and despair upon those around her." Intrigued, I implored the Countess to share the nun's story. She hesitated, reluctant to dampen the cheerful mood with a tale of sorrow. But I persisted, and finally, she relented. As she began to speak, the sun dipped below the horizon, and the moon emerged, a silver crescent in the fading light. The lake transformed from a deep purple to a shimmering silver, and the trees, once ablaze with color, now stood as dark silhouettes, their tops just catching the moon's gentle glow. Fireflies flickered among the rocks, and bats swooped through the twilight. And so, under the watchful eyes of the moon and stars, Countess Atanasia began her tale.